All right, so I'm going to talk about cringiest things that a man can do, part one, and it also ties in with my other point about why people don't find you as interesting as you'd like them to. Have you ever wondered why don't people find you interesting? What is it about you that makes you different from other people? Some other people, you can tell that people are interested in them. They're always curious about that person, but for you, it's almost like they don't really care. Well, stick around to the end of this video so I can go ahead and tell you all of that. So, what is the cringiest thing a man can do? Part one. The cringiest thing that a man can do, the very first one, all right? Because I might have to make this a full series because I just noticed so much shit. Number one, mentioning your body count without being asked. It's different. If someone told you, hey, bro, how much is your body count? Or if a woman told you, hey, how many women have you slept with? And then it's your choice to answer or not answer, whatever the case may be. But to bring it up out of the blue and just say, oh, yeah, I've slept with over 200 women or whatever the case may be, you look like a pick-me. You look like you want the woman to be like, oh, my goodness, he's been with that many women? Wow. And you know what's more intriguing to a woman? Her knowing that you have slept with a lot of women simply through the way that you treat her, simply through the way that you guys interact, or hearing it from others. If other people are talking constantly and women are talking and because women talk, that's one thing about women, and she tells her friend how good that dick was, and that friend tells another one, and that friend tells another one. It's way more interesting if you've never talked about it, but around you, there's like an aura, there's like a, I guess aura is the right word. I'm not trying to be like those cringy kids, but there's like an aura surrounding you that is people talking about it. People know without you speaking about it. It's a lot more intriguing than you having to self-proclaim your numbers to try to portray yourself in a different way and change the narrative in her mind by basically saying, oh yeah, please, I have experience with women, okay? I have experience with women. Because here's the thing about a lot of guys. They'll speak a very big game, but then at the end of the day, the curtain is going to be unveiled. The curtain is going to be pulled back, and then she's going to see the real you once she actually starts to interact with you. Because if you're so-called sleeping with that many women, then the experience is going to have to be there to match up. And the moment that she sees that you're a fraud and you're a fake, she's out of there. She's gone. And hey, game is game. If at the end of the day that's your strategy, just cap it up and be like, oh yeah, I've slept with 800,000 women, and in reality you're a virgin. Hey, I like your style. I'm just fucking with you. But hey, it's just so cringy. It's so cringy to me, and I just can't stand by that. And the reason why, which ties into my other point, the reason why people don't find you as interesting as you'd like them to is why? Because they know too much about you. Whether it's friends, well, friends is kind of different, right? Because friends is people that you are close with. So it's different. Your friends can know more about you. But if we're talking about dating life, if we're talking about dating women, if we're talking about people in your school, people in the places that you visit frequently, people in your workplace, whatever the case may be, if they know too much about you, the mystery about you is gone. The reason why it's so intriguing when you don't know too much about someone, because you have questions in your head that you want the answer to. And when you don't have the answers to them, you start to, what happens when you have a question in your head? You start to look for the answers constantly, and you don't sleep. You don't feel at peace until you have the answers. If you have a question in your mind, you're going to want those answers. So it's the same thing. If a woman sees you around school, around work, wherever the case may be, and she doesn't know too much about you, let's just say you guys have interacted a couple times, or maybe you guys haven't interacted. The questions are going to be there. Who is this guy? He's handsome. Does he have a girlfriend? Why is he here? This, that. Asking all these questions in her mind, right? Or maybe even people in the workplace. Who is this guy? Why is he always so... He's always working. He always looks sharp. He's always on point. I can tell he's a professional, but he never says too much about himself. It's more intriguing than to have the answers to everything in your mind. The moment you have a question, oh, he's from here. Oh, he has this. Oh, he has that. You want to know why Batman is so intriguing? Batman is so intriguing because he pops in and out of places. And that's another thing, which I'm going to quickly touch in on that. If you're staying and hanging out at places too much, you lose this interest that the what guys call aura. You lose that a bit, because when you're in and out of places and people are constantly hanging out there, they're never leaving, they're constantly hanging out there, and you're in and out, it makes them wonder, where's this guy going? This guy must have a life. This guy must be doing shit out of here that we're obviously not doing. So what is this guy doing? So like I was saying, the reason why Batman is so intriguing is because he goes in, pops out, goes in, pops out, quick, in and out. And when he does, he has a mask. He's concealing his identity. You don't know anything about him. All you know is what you see. Same thing with what I'm telling you guys. If people only know what they see as opposed to knowing everything about you, then it's going to be a lot more intriguing. The reason why it's so intriguing is because who is this guy? He popped up. He has this fucking armor. He has this weird contraption of a car. He doesn't kill people, but he fights them. He's fighting Joker, and he's the man that was able to beat him. Who is this guy? Who is he? Right? If this man, if you knew who he was, you'd be like, oh shit, there's Bruce Wayne again, playing around in his little costume. You wouldn't really think too much about it because you know who he is. If it was your friend, if Batman was your friend and he was in that costume, you'd be like, oh, there goes Tommy again, playing around in his little costume. Look at him. The mystery would be gone. So when women, if you're on a date with a new chick or whatever the case may be, I'm not saying be a mute. I'm not saying be there like this, because that's the thing that a lot of guys will make. They'll take something and they won't take it with a grain of salt. They'll just run with it. They don't have the nuance to it. They don't really think about the in-between because they have no experience to pair it to. So I'll go ahead and tell you from my experience. Don't be a mute, okay? Talk about yourself, but don't give away too much. If you're asked something, then answer it. But don't go around sharing so much information about yourself. Of course, share enough to where you guys can have a nice fluid conversation, but don't be oversharing. If she doesn't know where you're from, maybe not where you're from. Maybe that's a good topic, all right? But there's just certain things growing up. How did you grow up? What are your traumas, right? Some of you guys think that this is a therapy session. You go on a date and you say, oh, and back in the day, I was bullied and this happened and I was touched and this and that and this and that and this and that. There's nothing for her to wonder when she leaves the date. If you treat her right, if you give her an experience she's never had, if she can tell you are a valuable man, you're attractive, you're handsome, you smell good, you talk good, you make her feel a way that she's never felt before. And then on top of that, when she leaves the date after you checking all those boxes, she asks herself, I don't really know anything about this guy. Who is this guy? Now you're on her mind all the time. Now she's always thinking about, who is this guy? I want to know more about him. And that's when she'll start to text you more. That's when she'll start to call you more. That's when she'll start to try to set more dates. Why? Because she wants her questions answered. And the longer this goes on, the deeper she gets enthralled in who you are. She's trying to learn more about you. So you're getting her brain wrapped up with the thought of you. You are becoming her drug. So I'm not going to go too in depth, guys. If you guys want in depth, you got the Patreon, Optimal Man. You can go check it out on there. I got a video on how to get a woman to give you a. But yeah, guys, I'm not going to go too in depth, but that's the video for today. Just the tip of the iceberg. I'm not going to go too deep, okay? This is not what I'm supposed to do on YouTube. Going too deep on YouTube, that's not what I'm here to do. All right, so that's the video for today, guys. Like the video, comment your thoughts down below. Peace out.